All right, everybody, we are going to show you a bunch of hub dyno stuff, how it works, what our upgrades just were. It's pretty interesting. All based on the SML that we did in Rob Lymanstall's Nova. Now, I engine dynoed this, but no boost, just to verify everything was all good. So this is in the car for the first time. And we're going to start running this thing. So we're dynoing this and showing you all about how a hub dyno actually works, what's all going on, and then I'll explain all the upgrades and everything that we got going on. So keep watching. So obviously you see this is Rob Lymanstall. So he has one of the other SMLs that we were hoping to get to Sick Week, but since this is this is Thursday, we're leaving in 7 days to go to Sick Week, and this car has not gone down the track in radio form. So it's a totally different setup, long story short. We were hoping to have it done earlier and we could have been able to go test, or not gonna be able to go test.
Right.
So we're going to, because I need to go through it and just sort it all out, run it across hub dyno, make sure everything's all good. We dynoed this NA, and so now, and I can see why they didn't want to take all the electronics and everything out of the car and hot side, cold side out of the car because it's a mother trucker. So we're just going to dyno on the hub dyno, get everything sorted out, make sure everything's all cool. Then this is going to go to Donnie Walsh and Justin over at, what did you call this place?
D&D Motorsports, I think.
Oh, D&D Motorsports. They're going to go through the chassis setup. Chassis, definitely going to probably is going to need a different converter. Maybe not, I don't know. Possibly transmission. It's going to need from here back, gone through. Yep. Before we take it to the track, otherwise it's just wasting time. We'll get it all done and get it over to Donnie and Justin and rock and roll. So we got all wired up now, finally, and we're doing the load calibration on load cells, and Jostein is on the phone from Norway, calibrating the dyno. We're getting ready to load the new control and software that we all have here. Kenny has rewired pretty much everything in here. If it looks nice, neat, and orderly, that's what Kenny did. So, and everything all up through here. The only ones that are just temporary, we're getting the correct connectors, because we do have to separate these, is the white cables. But that's just a temporary connector for getting everything hooked up and make sure everything is functional and working. Now we put this beam on, and the beam is at the center of the shaft of the eddy current and is 3 feet exactly from the center of the shaft to the center of the weight. There we go. Now, since that's 100 pounds and it's 3 feet out from the center line of the absorber, it is the same as 300 pounds. All right, we got it on the second absorber.
Yes, we want only the arm first.
God darn it. All right, only the arm first.
I was trying to tell you, but don't think
No, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, to yell harder from Norway.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's him right there. So now we're testing putting power to it, which is something I was never able to do before. Power's on.
We have power.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Is it?
700 watts, huh?
Okay, so we can actually measure. Let me see that. We are measuring the current. Oh, yeah. Okay,
Oh,
very good.
that looks like a lot. All right, so we're back here today. It's been a long process of getting everything all done. It's kind of the wrong car actually to set the to do the dyno calibration and everything on, but it's okay because we haven't run it excessively. It hasn't run any real excessive load. Really hasn't done anything. That was really interesting on the. We were testing and actually measuring the moment of inertia on the eddy currents. So when you see the car it was just in a free rev. So Jostein's from Norway. So from Norway, he's running the hub dyno. He's going, okay, you need to take it to just rev it up and run it up to 120 mile an hour, put it in neutral. And so it measures decel, XL, decel, something, something, blah, 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 blah. And he times it by 55,000 and whatever. I don't know. But so it actually measures the moment of inertia. Then, and this is all stuff we've never done before. Then, because we didn't know how and it wasn't ever required. And then we also made a load arm and actually measured and calibrated the load cell on the dyno. So the hub dyno works in two ways. I don't know. Honestly, it's engineering largo. Don't really know. It's out of my wheelhouse. So it measures that moment of inertia and is measuring the torque on the load cell. I don't know how it's adding it all together, whatnot. I don't know. But it doesn't just measure the acceleration because it does have to apply load. So I don't know. There's a bunch of math in there. It's pretty interesting. So anyways, we're now getting back. We have the car started, it runs. I've made just very preliminary pulls on it. So we're going to start working on the hub dyno on the car. And one of the things that you've already seen in just even one of the regular pulls is we can do something that is making me super happy, which is, and this thing is really controlling well, is that I say, okay, I want it to go from 75 mile an hour, or we can set this up because I don't have I didn't get the inductive pickup yet to do it engine RPM based. So we're not doing this engine RPM based yet. We're just doing this all speed at the wheel. So it still measures everything. It just relates it to speed instead of engine RPM. Okay, so no big deal.
And that's what you were doing before, right?
That's basically what it was doing before, but it was trying to back calculate engine RPM. So the engine RPM number was never correct because it figures everything as a stick shift car with a 1-to-1 drive ratio. So it really wasn't accurate because you have to have engine RPM on there. Now it will not measure the torque correctly. This is complicated. I'm getting off in the weeds, but let's skip that. It's right, and that's what I'm super happy about. But the thing that we can do here is we go to our brake setup, and I have to remember where all this is all at, because this is the same control system as my engine dynos right now. So that's what I really wanted to do, is I just need everything to be the same, because there's nothing more infuriating, for example, than I go from one dyno to the next dyno, and there's different software, and it's like, hold on, I gotta think about it. It's like tuning different cars with 3 different ECUs. You got one car's on Motec, one car's on Holley, one car's on Fuel Tech. I don't care who you are, the brainiest stack, whoever the smartest mother trucker is in the world still has to go, hold on. Oh yeah, that's right, okay. Okay, they just do. You got to wrap your head around whatever program you're working on. So much easier to start with. All 3 of my dynos have the same software control. The hub dyno obviously just controls a little bit differently. But the number one thing that I really like and was verified, and we're going to continue to verify, is so just on these low pulls, 75 mile an hour, and it runs right up to it. And we'll set a hold start speed right there. So we can set that. So it'll run up to the RPM. Now I will be ultimately, the whole goal here is to be just like they do at Fuel Tech with the mainline dyno. Leave off the trans brake, shift gears and everything. I'm not there yet. I'm just so happy to have something that's working correctly right now. I'm working my way into that, so don't worry about it. But the thing that I really like is, so I set it, okay, we can set it up 75 mile an hour. We set it up for like 1 second the whole time. So it holds it at 75 mile an hour, or 2 seconds the whole time is what I'll do. It'll hold it right there. And it does. It's just like the engine idle. Whoa, and it'll just hold it. It builds boost. And then it starts the acceleration ramp. But here's the critical part. So when we do this in engine RPM, it'll do it in engine RPM also. But right now we have it in speed. And it's doing 15 mile per hour per second. So, and it is really god darn accurate. So it is, instead of the dyno going, whoa, whoa, taking off, this thing is like, whoa, and it is just flat out controlled. It is going to hold it at 15 miles an hour per second, which is, I think that makes that 75 to 150 is what is 75, right? So 75 divided by 15 is 5. So that's a 5-second pull. So it's really cool. I'll set that up at 2 seconds, come in, say okay. Now here we're watching the brakes. This is actual load percentage that the brakes are doing, all automatic. So I'm not having to enter in a load number or anything like that. It's just grabbing it and doing it. Power, you'll see there, it'll flash up the number and bring up the graph, and that is our just what we're doing here. So we'll turn the thing up, obviously, to more mile an hour, obviously, because it's going to run there. But this is a nice, good pull right through here, and a real controlled pull. So I'm really liking that. All right, so let's get at it. Alrighty, so what you hear there is it's this transition. So it's actually loading too hard, which is ironic. So it's loading too hard, And so it didn't want to quite get to 75 mile an hour because it was putting, the target load was target load at start was a little too high, so it was like holding it there. That the first time it was just holding it at 50 mile an hour, so it wouldn't ever start the sweep. It has to hit 75 mile an hour to go above it in order to go. So which is no big deal. That is, let's download our data log, and I'll show you what it made on a dyno here. I'll change it so it leaves the number up. Now, that's good, easy. So right in this area here is where the transition from gasoline to methanol is. So normally the way the car works is starts, idles, runs on gasoline. And then I have it set up so about 2 pounds of boost, it starts making the transition from gasoline to methanol. Well, that totally changes the tune, obviously. And right in that whole RPM or that whole range, it's actually making about that same boost. That's what we would see there. And so when it makes the transition, then the thing just takes right off. And that is at, oh yeah, the O2 looks real good. It's a little rich. Quite rich. Quite very rich. 13 pounds of boost. 13 pounds of boost. 15, that's really good. 13 pounds of boost. So yeah. So let's I think I'll come in here and now we'll work on the tune-up. So like I said before, you can see right through here is this funny little spot. And you can see the boost. Let me change that color because there's way too many greens here. So you can see here the engine RPM starts taking off. Engine RPM is green, right? So here's our that's just rolling into it. Because if I show this, so it goes right through this whole little area right here is where it's angry. So I'll change some fuel there to make that transition better because it gets really dead lean right through there. It's not making any boost yet, so I got to change something in my gas scale. And then right up through here, watch there, it's all of a sudden it's going to plateau right there. Bang, 2 pounds of boost. And then the fuel transitions fully, whoop, and then it takes off. All right. So, and there's no closed loop right here because I'm at wide open throttle at 4,300 RPM, and I don't have the closed loop on right there, so it's not making any corrections. All right. So I'm going to come in here. We're going to, just if you're interested, this is on a fuel tech. I got the data log open. I open my fuel table overlay. That would be primary because the primary is the gas injector. And then it will show you exactly where it's running. So here's my little cursor. And right up there, it is really, really lean. And that's just so it's probably getting caught up in this cell right here, combining. Because it doesn't just run on that cell, it kind of averages the round. So I think I'm going to add some fuel right there. Multiply 1.1. I think I'm going to go add 15% right there. Yep. And yeah, because I got a lot right here. It's pretty reasonable all through there. Oh, let's see. So, because this is all in that 75 mile an hour area. Let me shrink this up a little bit. So it's wide open throttle. It's sitting there holding it. So this is the dyno holding it. Basically 2 seconds. Now here's the interesting thing. So from where it started and where it released, it went through this hiccupy area because it's in this transition. But from where it started the dyno pull to here, 6.5 seconds to 11.5 seconds is what? 5 seconds. 5 seconds. So total control right through there, which is cool. Very steady all the way up. Now let me show you this So here's the primary injector. Okay, so these are zeros. There you go. So it's right here is a little dot, and then as it transitions past this two, yeah, actually that probably screwed that up. I need a little more fuel right through there, and probably right through here. I'll show you what I'll add another 10%. All right. So it comes right up through here, and then it starts into the secondary table, which is inverted. If there's zeros, that means the injectors are not working. They're shut off. And then it transitions into here, all right, where it's not using. So we go up here. You see it climbing. Now it's totally shut off on the gas injector. Its gas injectors are 0. The secondaries are now this is a millisecond. So the secondaries are in 7, almost 8 milliseconds of fuel. What's that translate into? About 2,300 pounds per hour of fuel. All right, going from 0 in the yeah. So there's just an unhappy transition spot here in between the primary gas and the, oh, that's a different view. When you get used to looking at a millisecond number, it's really confusing to look at a pound per hour number. But so it comes up right through here. So that whole little transition, it was fine right here, and then all of a sudden it went raw and was unhappy right there. Let's see if I can highlight that on both. Nope. So it's just getting into it here. Yeah, I think it just needs a little bit more. It's definitely very lean, so. And I think I might add just like 5% here. So that's going to be quite a bit of fuel. All right. Then you send it to the program. Done. It's all done. So it's in the program. I just verify stuff, and then we'll come in. We'll make another pull. But I mean, that's pretty good horsepower at 13 pounds boost, 13 and a half pounds boost. That's pretty good. So happy there. I really want us to get through that little transition area so it's smooth and goes through there before I put in some more boost at it. Let's try this out, see where we're at. I got to add some fuel to it, and let's see this run. Well, it has been 28 days since I started wearing my Brunt boots. Let me tell you, I gotta say, these things are god darn nice, comfortable. Been wearing them every day, 28 days, except the church. I wear a different shoe there. Totally loving it. Now, check out the boots. Welted sole. It's been really great. These things are just astronomically comfort. They're like I said earlier in the first video, they're like a little pillow, like a little heavenly cloud pillows. They're like, hello, foot. Shh. They cradle your foot and kind of hold it all in there. It's great. So anyways, these are the Marins from Brunt. 100%. These are American made, Goodyear rubber, welted rubber. I don't know what welted means, but it means something. And like I said, they've been really comfortable. I'm very happy with them. So go to Brunt Workwear and make sure you use the code SteveMorris10. Make sure I get credit for that deal. If you go there and get anything, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. And even if you think you are disappointed, if you go, oh no, I don't want to have work boots. I thought I did. I thought I wanted to be manly and have work boots, but I guess not. Risk-free. Try it. You send them back, they send you your money back. It's no big deal. All right, so really good company. I like working with these guys, and I am fully secure in my manhood, what I kind of like to call my Brunthood. Pretty good. All right, let's see what this thing just made on Dyno. Alright, so just made that pull. Almost, and I changed went to 175 RPM. And so it's like, oh my gosh, this thing is taking so long because I'm so used to it going, wham, you know, just really accelerating fast. So what I'll show you here, it's interesting. So definitely took care of my transition area much better. It still has a little spot right there. I didn't really notice it too much during the pull. There we go. There's that. Change. There we go. And you can see it go wide open throttle right here. So shift. 1, 2. It's in third gear. Go to wide open throttle. Dips down because it gets this Excel shot of fuel, which is fine. And so this is Excel fuel, makes the AFR go down. Then it goes up. Now remember, it's running on gasoline right here because it's only at 0 PSI. And then right through here, it's going to start making that whole transition. Yeah, right there, it gets, just goes over 0 and starts making a transition. That's actually not bad. I think I could probably fix that up just a little bit too. That's not too awful bad right there. Now keep in mind, it doesn't actually run this way on the track. Again, because normally this thing is going to be, starts the staging, and they sound interesting when they're running because it'll put it on the trans brake, go to wide open throttle, and it goes, and as soon as it builds boost, all of a sudden it'll go, because it's gone to made a transition into methanol. Now that's where we would be letting go of a trans brake, but I got disengaged trans brake. I mess around with it. I'm just not ready to do that yet. I just want to make sure that everything's cool on the engine, everything's all good. I'm not real super concerned about how things are going in the car because we know that the car is going to get changed. So the car is going to go as soon as I'm done with it, and we check out the engine, make sure everything's all good, which I think it is because it just made 1569 again. Remember, the engine RPM is wrong. Okay, do not read the engine RPM. Until I get a good tack signal on here, it is not doing engine RPM correct. But the engine speed is, okay? The car is gonna go to Walsh Racing and over in Detroit area. All right, so it just loaded different through here. That's all good, fine, because I started it out lower and then carries out here better. So now right up here, then it lays over as I let out of the throttle probably just before it goes to 175. Actually, so the throttle was taking so long. Yeah, I mean that was wide open throttle for 10 seconds. So that's quite a bit. That's from the time I went to wide open throttle to the time that I let off the throttle, which was 8,000 RPM. So that was at 8,000 RPM and not quite 175 mile an hour. It was probably just starting to, it probably just started to get there. But I think I'm going to call the Osteen, and I'm going to have them adjust it just a little bit because it did have that little bit of a, and that's the dyno doing that. Because I could feel it. It's like loaded real hard, and then all of a sudden it like released and took off a little bit, and then it did one more time. But still, so much better of trying to, you're just trying to figure out the PID controls to make sure that these absorbers, everything are exactly the same. Now we're going to start putting the covers back on this. Yeah. I mean, they're, I don't know, maybe like 100 degrees or so. Warm, but not too big a deal. Yeah. So I think we'll start putting the covers on this stuff. And here, I'll show you what it's going to look like. So we're just starting to finish up controlling the dyno better. You can hear it comes in. I'm doing a video right now. You're on it. So we're doing so it does a nice 2-second hold and then accelerates nice, doing everything much better. Looks really good. So it sounds good. Looks really, really good. Making great horsepower. So I think what we're going to be doing is Yostein's still working on that. But as you're watching this, me and Kyle are getting ready to leave right now. To believe it or not, we got 2 things we're going to be doing. First thing we're going to do is we're actually racing the Champ Car race at Daytona Road Course. Kyle and myself with a really nice fan customer, Ray Kruger, and he has a car and invited us to come down and drive. So we're going to go do that. And then, believe it or not, we're going to go pick up the better half Camaro with the scratch and dent engine. So the scratch and dent better half Camaro, we're going to pick it up and we're bringing it back. So come back next week and see all about that. But first, before you do that, we're going to have on Saturday the complete mullet engine build with the above average Joe. So double A Joe, we got everything all set up. So everything is just doing some clearancing, and he's going to be putting that entire engine together. Come back Saturday. We're going to have a real full-length video of just a full build of how a mullet engine gets built. So come back. All right. So I'm Steve Morris. You can send prayers up, keep us all safe during the race at Champ Car, and drive down there, drive back, picking up the scratch and dent better half. So, like, subscribe. Almost at 500,000. Almost. In fact, it might even be 500,000 by the time you watch this. I hope so. So let's try getting it up there. Thank you. Have a great day.